Have you ever walked away from a visit with your children, your grandkids, or even friends, and felt a little sting in your chest because something felt off? Maybe they left a bit sooner than you expected. Maybe they seemed distracted, checking their phones, glancing at the clock. Maybe they said, "We'll talk about it later," or "Let's not get into that right now," one too many times. You are left sitting in your chair wondering, did I say something wrong? Did I do something? Why does it feel like people are pulling away from me as I get older? Most seniors never get an honest answer to that question. Your family loves you, your friends care about you, but very few people will sit an older person down and say, "Listen, this habit you've picked up is bothering everyone." They are afraid of hurting your feelings. They do not want to seem disrespectful. So instead of saying anything, they quietly adjust around you, visiting less often, staying shorter, avoiding certain topics, changing the subject when you start down a familiar path. You are left in the dark, feeling lonely and confused, while small, fixable habits slowly push people further away. Here is the hard and hopeful truth. Older age does not automatically make you difficult, but it does magnify certain tendencies we all have, especially when we are in pain, tired, worried, or feeling left behind by a fast-changing world. Maybe you talk more because you are alone so much of the day. Maybe you repeat the same stories because they comfort you. Maybe you complain more because your body truly does hurt. Your finances really are tight. People you love really have died. Maybe you correct others because you have lived long enough to see where certain roads lead, and you are trying to protect them. Your reasons are not bad. But even understandable habits can become tiring, draining, or hurtful for the people around you if they show up in the same way, over and over, every time. Especially when nobody feels brave enough to say, "This is hard for me." If you are in your 60 seconds, 70 seconds, 80 seconds, or beyond, you might already be wondering, are there things I do or say that bother people more than they let on? Am I repeating the same complaints every visit? Am I always criticizing, always reliving the past, always talking about my illnesses, always turning conversations back to myself? Am I doing something that makes younger people dread bringing up certain topics because they know exactly how I will react? Those questions do not make you weak or needy. They make you wise. They mean you still care about how you affect other people. You still want to be someone others are glad to be around, not just someone they have to check on out of duty. That desire is a strength, not a flaw. This video is not here to shame you, and it is not here to treat seniors like children who need scolding. It is here as a gentle, honest mirror. Because older doctors, counselors, caregivers, and adult children keep seeing the same patterns. 5 common habits in old age that quietly bother everyone, but almost nobody tells you about directly. These habits do not make you a bad person, but they can make you harder to be around, and they can slowly shrink your circle of support at the very time in life when you need connection the most. Some of these habits show up in how you talk, always turning the conversation negative, giving constant unsolicited advice, or dismissing younger people's challenges as nothing compared to what you went through. Some show up in how you listen, interrupting, correcting every detail, insisting on being right. Some show up in how you carry your pain, making every interaction about your illnesses or disappointments in a way that leaves no room for joy or for anyone else's life. And some show up in how you treat boundaries, pushing into private matters, making comments about appearance, money, or relationships that you would not accept if they were directed at you. You may not mean to do any of this. You may think you are just being honest, telling it like it is, or sharing your experience, but the impact can still be that people feel drained, criticized, guilted, or unheard after spending time with you. Over time, that feeling makes them visit less, call less, and share less of their real lives with you. They may still love you deeply. They may still show up for special occasions, but the warmth, laughter, and trust you long for start to fade. The good news is, habits are not destiny. Even in older age, you can adjust the way you speak, listen, and show up. You do not have to become a different person. You do not have to fake cheerfulness or pretend your struggles are not real. But you can learn to notice when a habit is taking over the whole conversation, when a comment will shut people down instead of drawing them closer, when your need to talk is leaving no room for others to breathe. Small changes in how you handle these moments can make a surprisingly big difference in how people feel when they are with you. In this video, we are going to talk about 5 wrong habits in old age that often bother children, grandchildren, friends, and caregivers far more than they ever say out loud. We will explore why these habits show up, what they sound like in everyday life, how they quietly damage relationships, and, most importantly, what you can do instead if you recognize yourself in them. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming aware and then becoming just a little kinder and easier to be around, for your sake and for theirs. By the end of this video, you will have a clearer sense of which behaviors might be pushing people away, and some simple, realistic ways to soften them without pretending you are not older, not hurting, or not wiser from your experiences. You will understand how to keep your honesty and your dignity while also protecting your relationships from habits that drain and discourage the very people you love. And stay with me until the very end, because habit number 3 is one that many seniors see as just talking or just telling the truth, but for younger family members, it can be the number 1 reason they stop sharing their real lives with you. Changing that one habit alone can open the door to deeper, more respectful connection than you have had in years. Now, let us get started. Number 1, turning every conversation into a complaint or a cloud. As you get older, it is natural to have more to complain about. Your body hurts in places you did not know existed, prices are higher, technology is confusing, people you love have gotten sick or passed away. You have real reasons to feel frustrated and sad. The problem is not that you ever complain, it is when you complain in almost every conversation. Think about your recent calls or visits. Do you often start with, "You wouldn't believe how bad my," and then list pains, prices, disappointments, neighbor problems, politics, the news, and never really leave that place? Do you find that even when good things come up, you quickly swing back to what is wrong? To you, it may feel like you are just telling the truth. To the people listening, especially your children and grandchildren, it can feel like every time they see you, they are being pulled into a storm cloud they cannot get out of. After a while, people begin to brace themselves before they call, "What will I be hit with today?" They might still love you, but they leave the conversation drained, heavy, discouraged. And because they do not want to hurt you by saying, "You complain all the time," they just quietly call less often. You do not have to fake happiness, but you can try shifting the balance. Before you start listing what hurts, pause and ask the other person, "How are you?" When you do share your struggles, try to also share one small thing you are grateful for or enjoyed that day. "My knees hurt today, but I did sit outside for a few minutes and the sun felt good." And every now and then, gently stop yourself when you feel the urge to go on and say, "I've talked enough about my aches. Tell me something good from your week." That simple habit can make people feel relieved instead of weighed down after talking with you. Number 2, repeating the same stories and not letting others get a word in. Telling stories from your life is a gift. Your memories are a bridge between generations. But when the same stories are told in the same way every time, with no room for anyone else to speak, it can start to feel less like sharing and more like being trapped. You might not even realize you are repeating yourself. Memory changes with age. A story that feels like just the other day might be something you already told at last week's lunch. Or maybe you talk more now because you are alone much of the day and your words build up. So when someone finally visits or calls, everything comes pouring out. It makes sense. But if you notice that people are very quiet when you talk, that they glance away or try to change the subject and you keep going, they may be feeling unheard and invisible. Imagine how it feels to your grandchild if every time they say, "Guess what happened at school?" you steer it back to, "When I was your age," and never come back to their story. Or how it feels to an adult child if every time they share a challenge at work, you jump in with your own experience and never ask another question about theirs. Over time, they may stop offering their stories at all. A gentle way to keep stories without drowning others is to use this rule: share, then ask. Tell a story once, then ask, "What about you? Has anything like that happened in your life?" If you catch yourself telling the same story you told recently, you can smile and say, "Have I already told you this one? If I did, stop me and I'll pick another." That tells them you are aware and that you care about their time. If you are still listening, comment the number 2 below so we know you are here. And if these conversations matter to you, consider subscribing so we can keep creating calm, respectful videos for older adults and their families. Now, let us move forward. Number 3, constant criticism, advice, and dismissing younger people's struggles. You have lived through things younger people cannot imagine. You have seen hard times, made mistakes, learned lessons. Wanting to protect your family from pain is natural. But sometimes that wisdom comes out as constant correction, criticism, or dismissal, and it pushes them away instead of helping them. It sounds like, "That's nothing when I was your age," or "You're doing it wrong, you should," or "You're too sensitive, toughen up," or "If you just listened to me, you wouldn't be in this mess." To you, it might feel like guidance. To them, it often feels like being judged, belittled, or talked down to. Younger adults do not experience the world the way you did at their age. Work, money, relationships, parenting, everything looks different now. When you dismiss their stress as nothing, it tells them that you care more about winning the "who had it harder" contest than about how they actually feel. After a while, they stop telling you what's really going on because they already know your response. You do not have to agree with everything they do, but you can choose to lead with curiosity instead of criticism. Instead of, "That's silly," try, "Help me understand why that's so stressful for you." Instead of, "You're doing it wrong," try, "Do you want my advice on this, or would you rather I just listen?" Giving people the option to say yes or no to advice is one of the most powerful ways to show respect. Number 4, making every interaction about your health or disappointments. Your health is a big part of your life now. You have appointments, pills, pains, test results. It is normal to want to talk about them. The problem is when they become the only thing you talk about. If every visit and call is dominated by your latest symptom, procedure, or how miserable you are, people can start to feel like they are visiting a medical report, not a person. Again, this is not about pretending you feel great when you do not. It is about leaving some space in the conversation for other things, their lives, their joys, your interests beyond illness. You might try setting a private limit with yourself. "I'll talk about my health for a bit. Then I will ask about their life and stay on that topic for a while." Or even say out loud, "I've updated you on my health. Now tell me about you. I don't want every conversation to be about my problems." That sentence alone can make your loved ones exhale with relief. Number 5, ignoring boundaries and making intrusive or hurtful remarks. This can be the hardest one to see in yourself. With age, some people feel more free to say what they think. You might comment on weight, money, parenting, relationships, appearance, or private decisions with a bluntness you would not accept from others. "You've put on weight. Your house is a mess. When are you giving me great-grandchildren? You spend too much. You look terrible in that. I don't like your husband, wife," and prosent. You may see this as honesty, but for the person hearing it, especially younger family, it can feel like a lack of respect and safety. They may still visit you, but they stop sharing parts of their life, or they keep visits brief so there is less time for comments that hurt. You can still have opinions, but a good question to ask yourself is this comment kind, and is it necessary? If it is neither, it may be better left unsaid. And if you truly must say something difficult, say it once, gently, at the right time, not repeatedly, at every visit. When you become more aware of these 5 habits, constant complaining, dominating conversations, harsh advice, and dismissal, making everything about your health, and crossing boundaries with intrusive comments, you are not fixing your age. You are protecting your relationships. Small shifts in how you speak and listen can make your presence feel lighter, safer, and more welcome to the people you love, which is something almost every senior secretly wants, even if they do not say it out loud. Final thoughts. We have just held up a gentle mirror to 5 wrong habits in old age that quietly bother people more than they tell you, turning every conversation into a complaint or a cloud. Repeating the same stories and not letting others get a word in, giving constant criticism or advice that feels more like judgment, making every interaction about your health or disappointments, and ignoring boundaries with comments that are too sharp, too personal, or too often repeated. None of this means you are a bad person or that you have failed at getting older. Most of these habits grow out of very human things: pain, worry, loneliness, a lifetime of experience, a world that feels like it is moving too fast, without asking your opinion. In a way, these habits are your nervous system saying, "See me, hear me, understand me, do not leave me behind." The problem is not that you ever complain, ever tell a story, ever give advice, ever talk about your health, or ever speak frankly. The problem is when one of those things becomes the only thing people ever get from you, when every visit is dominated by complaints, every call by the same story, every problem they share is met with criticism, every minute together is a medical update, every boundary they try to set is crossed with another comment. People begin to feel like there is no room for them in the relationship. If you felt a little sting of recognition listening to these habits, that is not something to be ashamed of. That is a sign of life, of conscience, of love. It means you still care how you affect the people around you, and that caring is the key. You cannot erase every habit overnight, but you can start to notice them. You might begin by paying attention in your next conversation. Ask yourself quietly, have I been talking for a long time without asking about them? Have I turned everything negative? Did I just dismiss their feelings by saying, "That's nothing"? Did I bring up my health 3 times already? Did I comment on something, their body, money, relationships, that I would not want someone else to comment on in me? When you catch yourself, do not beat yourself up, just gently change direction. You can say out loud, "Listen to me. I've been complaining a lot. Tell me something good from your week." Or, "I've told enough stories. I want to hear yours." Or, "I started giving advice without asking if you wanted it. I'm sorry. Do you want my thoughts? Or do you just need me to listen?" Those small course corrections can feel huge to the person across from you. They feel seen, not just talked at. It can also help to choose one habit at a time to work on, instead of trying to fix everything. Maybe this month you focus on complaining less and asking more questions. Maybe next month you practice pausing before you give advice and asking, "Do you want my opinion?" Maybe you decide to limit medical talk to a few minutes at the start of a conversation, then move on. Little by little, you become easier to be around, without pretending your reality is different than it is. Remember, your family and friends may not have the courage to say, "This habit is hard for me," but almost all of them deeply want to feel close to you. They want to enjoy you, not just endure you. When you soften these habits, you are not giving in to a younger generation. You are protecting the very relationships that will matter most to you as the years go on. So ask yourself, which of these 5 habits feels most like me? The constant cloud, the non-stop talking, the harsh advice, the endless health talk, or the sharp comments? And what is one small change I am willing to try this week? Even choosing one sentence to use, like, "Enough about me, tell me about you," can begin to change the feeling in the room. Thank you for being willing to look at yourself with this kind of honesty. That willingness is one of the clearest signs of real wisdom, not just old age. In the comments below, if you feel comfortable, share which habit you want to work on first and one small way you plan to handle it differently. Your courage might give another senior the nudge they need to soften a habit that has been hurting their relationships for years. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend or family member who is getting older and still wants to grow, not just in age, but in kindness and connection. Your support helps us keep creating calm, practical senior wisdom to make these later years not just longer, but better for you and the people you love. Thank you for watching, and remember, it is never too late to become a little easier to be around and a lot more deeply connected.